Hello, everyone. This is Greg Giglio, and I am here in our trainer's room. And then going into places where sometimes most folks don't get a chance to see, but this is our Homestead Sports Medicine under the guidance of trainer Dan Newsom. So, again, we have a pretty awesome facility in here, obviously not being used at the moment, but lots of state of the art equipment, a great place to get treatment for your athletes, and under the great care of Dan Newsom. So, just wanted you guys to see a little bit of this before we start into today's presentation. And let me pull that up on the screen for you. Here we go. So this is Friday, December 11th, 2020. It is the first day of Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah to those of you out there who are in the beginning of the holiday season. This is going to be the last video message for 2020. Just wanted to let you know I'm not going to be doing one next week, but here is our final numbers for this week. We did end up with another 10 responses this week. So in total, we had 95 on this survey. And remember, we had a survey before, which had about another little over 100 responses. So almost 200 responses for both of those. So again, thank you to everybody who sent something in. For this week's numbers, the rating point, we had a high of 10 and a low of 4. That averaged out to a 7.4. So we're ending on a high note. And we've had ratings in terms of, you can see right there, from 5.5 all the way up to 7.05 until this week's 7.4. And again, we are ending the survey as of today as well, too. I will be putting a new one out for next semester. I'm also going to be rotating them a little bit more frequently. I'm going to try and go on some different topics, incorporate some ideas that I've gotten from the survey. So I'm going to try and do some different things next semester, but I will continue these videos. So again, when you're just looking at the numbers, some of the things that people marked as high for or in a big level there for were that our commitment by our staff members is phenomenal. That they're creating opportunities for our student success. Lots of statements about making the best out of a bad situation and talking about communication. There was a specific shout out there too to our PTSA group that has been doing a lot of amazing work this year. Very active, even though we're in remote learning, but most particularly for the food pantry program that they put together. So Maya Bernicki, our president, and all the folks that were involved in there, all of you who gave money, who donated food, we've been able to give a lot of food out to families, directly to Homestead families at that time. And so really appreciate you all giving back to our folks who are in need and supporting those who need a little extra help. So thank you to PTSA for providing that opportunity. Thank you for everyone who volunteered. Thank you for everyone who donated. Some of the thorns when people rated us on the lower side, again, a lack of social interaction was something people were still looking. So again, we're trying to get that going more in the second semester. Just about how hard, a lot of the comments were about how hard remote learning has been on students and on families. And then again, a discussion about the workload as well too. I do want to make one correction from the last week's video, and thank you to a viewer who pointed this out. I said the first day, I gave the wrong date for the first date of next semester. It is going to be Monday, January 4th, not the 6th, like I said. So Monday, January 4th is our first day of school for the second semester. There's a question about when were you guessing that sports season will start? And so for those of you who may not have heard some of the announcements, our county restrictions last through until the 21st. So that prevents any contact indoor sports and outdoor sports from happening until at least the 21st. Our season was supposed to start. Practice was supposed to already have started, and then season starting here soon. But that's obviously been put on pause. The statewide restrictions are going on through January 4th, so that also may affect what we're able to do. So because, again, we try to take 3 seasons and cram them down into sort of 2.5 seasons, we're now in that part where I'm not sure how we're going to be able to run all 3 seasons in one semester. That's going to be pretty difficult, not only because we have students who play multiple sports and they might be overlapping now. We have coaches who coach multiple sports. So that might be difficult to run into. Facilities is definitely going to be an issue. You know, we can only have so many events happening in the gym or on the football field. And so that's going to come into conflict, especially with practices. Also our referees, there's going to be, it's a lot of times referees also do multiple different sports. And so that might be a difficult thing getting some referees out there too. What is probably going to start happening, and this is just my guessing, it's not an official decree, so please don't take it that way, is that what we're going to start seeing if the season keeps getting sort of pushed, what's going to happen is some of those sports that did play last year and did not get canceled may end up getting canceled, so that some of the other sports that did get canceled get a chance to be in. So an example of that could be like, say, football or soccer. They had their season last year, but that may be, you know, if we have too many things going on, we may have to cancel those, or the athletic league may end up canceling those seasons. But something like boys volleyball, which got canceled last year, is gonna, they moved that around to this year to try and see if they could get the season going. So again, that might be something that comes up. So I really don't know when season's going to start. Again, the closer we get to getting the spikes flattened, till we get the vaccine, and then some of these restrictions lightened up, it could be a while. So again, as the longer we go, the more likely we're going to see some cancellations. But nothing is officially canceled yet. We're just a little bit nervous about that it might be. It's a question about, will you keep advisory hour on Wednesdays? If we're in remote learning, the schedule is absolutely going to stay the same. And actually, the way the schedule was built, it is supposed to transition between in-person and remote learning. So, you know, should we get back into person, all of a sudden we have to go back out. Very small changes are going to be made to the schedule, but it'll basically stay the same. But while we're on remote learning, that Wednesday is going to remain asynchronous with advisory hour that morning. If we come back in person, we're probably going to have a daily attendance, right? We have to have folks coming to school every day. And so we'll probably change that Wednesday to like what a Monday used to look like, or what we call a skinny day, where every class meets for a little while, for a shorter period of time. We have already, because we know we're going to be in remote learning for the first 6 weeks of the second semester, we've already started to plan those advisories that are going to happen. So we're going to be bringing up topics like microaggressions. We have a student group that is putting together a 2-part series on climate change. Our ASB leadership students are going to be providing some spirit events to try and get some more interaction and some more fun happening. We will have some guidance presentations about course selection. That's going to be a big important part of the second semester, so we're going to be using advisory for that. So we definitely have some things that we're going to be doing in advisory. So again, one of the bright spots of this remote learning schedule is the ability to have these advisories, which have been received really well by our students and staff. At some point too, next semester in early February, we're going to be having class meetings on a presentation about sexual harassment. This has been kind of an ongoing story over the last several years. All our schools have actually this year have undergone this training. We're the last school to do that. So it's something that's going to help the students make better choices, understand sort of the harsh realities around some of their actions, as well as how to just be respectful of each other. So it's something that we're going to be doing in February. It's sort of tied to advisory, which is why I'm mentioning it in this one. And one of the things we are going to be doing, and we have been doing with our teachers group, is really clarifying what is allowable during asynchronous time. And so there's been a lot of question about, well, what exactly kind of work should my student be doing? Should they be getting tested? Should they be doing different work or the same work? And so we're really trying to clarify that, so that it should come out with a statement at the start of next semester. You'll see a clarification of that, which I think will work for everybody. There was a kind of a long question, which I've narrowed down into sort of the 2 big questions that were in this question. Was, when are we getting students back in person, and have you considered their mental health might be more important than the safety of the coronavirus? So I'm going to take the first part of that question, and then I'll go to the second part of the question. Again, we have slowly been trying to get students back on campus, and we've had some limited success with that, right? We had been hosting athletic and activity pods outdoors since about August. So, and that was something that was allowable up to groups of 14, that wouldn't mix with other groups. They could do conditioning like workouts, but they couldn't practice because, again, that would necessitate sort of contact in close quarters. And they were outside, so that was something that was allowable. We were also able to do things outside with band or robotics or other clubs that were asking for it. That week of November 30th, right after Thanksgiving, we were planning to bring back small groups or cohorts or pods, whatever term you want to use, for some supports and services. But we had to stop that with the imposing of the stricter guidelines from the county. So what we're going to do, though, is we have those groups in our mind, and we'd like to get those going. We're probably going to start those second semester, and again, start working towards getting more students back on campus. But again, our current restrictions do not allow for what we consider in-person instruction, whether it's at a hybrid or as a fully back in. And people say, well, I heard other schools are doing it. And there are some elementary schools that are going back again, but that's an easier to control situation. So those kids stay in the same classroom, they have the same teacher. It doesn't happen in the middle in the high school, so it makes it harder. Really starting to look at, if we were to try to do hybrid, meaning some folks would stay home and some would be here, the size of our classroom, and to ensure 6 foot of distance between it. Some of our classes are going to be as small as 12, which is about a third of what our normal classes are. So that's going to be a little tough to try and do a hybrid in threes. It's easier to do a cohorts in twos. So again, not looking great right now for the hybrid version. But again, if the current lockdown measures work, we start to flatten the curve, we start to get people vaccinated, we impose our much stricter safety protocols, then we might be able to see some ability to return in greater numbers. So until then, again, we're going to slowly start bringing them back. Now, for the second part of that question, regarding the mental health, we absolutely are seeing issues with mental health. And those issues are here, whether we're in school or out of school. So, but right now I would say we're seeing an increase because there's a lot of things going on in the world out there. It isn't just that school's closed, it's the pandemic, it's social issues, it's, not seeing their friends. All those things are coming together. So we have seen an increase in referrals, which we are concerned about. But we have provided some mechanisms and supports for folks. Again, you have all seen and heard me talk about the wellness check-ins that you can do, and that those check-ins get sent to our 3 school-based therapists, as well as we can refer for outside services too at times. So please keep using those, because what we're getting is we're hearing from teachers and parents and students that, hey, my friend needs some help, or I need some help, or my student needs some help, or this student needs help, and we're trying to get them the proper supports. Our guidance counselors, who mostly focus on academic issues, but can be and are trained to deal with stress and trauma and those kinds of things. They are working with individual students as well. They are doing a lot of one-on-one meetings, trying to help and coach and support students. We have also, to try and address some of the issues that are out there, we have done 3 advisories so far this year that are on mental health resources and supports. So we will do some more next semester as well too. We definitely see it as a big issue. And we're not trying to say it's lesser or greater than. Right now, again, we are trying to do the best we can in the situation with the cards we're dealt. And again, what's been really helpful to us is when folks fill out that wellness check-in form, because that allows us to go in and meet with students, meet with families, try and provide resources. And again, we are trying to follow all county guidelines in terms of what's safe. And that's what we're doing right now. So I know people are struggling and people are tired of the pandemic, but we still have to follow those rules and hopefully get this thing under control so that we can get back. That is the best way to getting back, is to get everybody in a place where we've lowered the numbers, we've got people vaccinated, and people are coming in wearing masks and being able to stay socially distant. So again, we are concerned about the mental health. We are concerned about getting students back on campus. And as soon as we're able to safely do so, we will do both. This was a question saying, or it was more of a statement, but it was, I hope all teachers can drop the lowest quiz test grade for students. This will help, raise student grades and motivate them in some way during the difficult times. And again, I've talked about this in a few different ways over the last few videos. There are a lot of ways in which our teachers are trying to work with students to help them raise a grade, because we are seeing students struggle. It is harder for students to focus in remote learning. Just a plain fact, it's hard for them to focus in class. But this is a hard, no, the lights just went out. Hang on, let's move, get the lights going. There we go. That's the second time that's happened to me in a video. It means I'm talking too long. Anyway, that is one strategy that folks can use out of many. So again, just ask your teacher what other ways they might be doing, because they might be doing something else. And again, these enrichment periods during Opportunity Week, which I'll talk about in a little bit again, those are meant to help students, raise their grades, do some sort of last minute improvements to make sure they end the semester in the best possible way. So please talk to your teacher. We're about a week away, or actually not even that, because Monday's the first day of Opportunity Week. So hopefully you're talking with your teachers about what opportunities they have out there for you. Getting to our last slide, I need to let you know both joyous and sad news that we have a couple of retirements happening at the semester here. Eugenia San Cristobal, who is our registrar, she's been our registrar for 22 years, retired right at the end of November. And now Leslie Ogawa Boone, who is a counselor for the students with the last names SAN through Z, who's been with us for nearly 17 years. She's retiring also and will be done at the end of this semester. So again, we really appreciate all the service and years that those two have given to our students, to our families, to our staff. They've been a great resource for everybody, so we will really miss them. And we're a little bit jealous that they get to retire and go do some fun stuff, hopefully as fun as you can in a lockdown, right? But we gives us an opportunity to welcome some new members to our family. So Omar Salazar is our new hire at the registrar position. And so he had some time with Eugenia. where she was able to train him and get him up to speed on everything about registration. So he's been here working for the past couple of weeks and settling into his new office. We do have we're in the process of hiring a new guidance counselor, and I don't have it official yet, so I can't announce it yet, but hopefully I'll be able to do that in the next few days here. But we do have a really good candidate that we're hoping just clears all the hurdles. So looking forward to that. So again, thank you to Eugenia and Leslie. They've been amazing. Welcome, Omar, and to our new to be named later guidance counselor. So again, I talked about Opportunity Week. That is next week. So on Monday, could be finals, could be projects, could be something, but periods 3 and 7 meet. Then on Tuesday the 15th, periods 4 and 5 meet. On the 16th, which is the Wednesday, periods 1 and 6 meet. And on the 17th, period 2 meet. So again, students must attend those periods. What the teachers have in store for them, that again depends on what they've been planning for. But I do want you to know that the enrichment periods that are after lunch each day, except for that Thursday, because Thursday is only one final, those periods are voluntary, but please talk to your teacher to see what they might be offering so that you can benefit from getting a last minute reprieve on some low scores. The 18th, which is Friday, is a staff work day. The students do not attend. They get to start their winter break or holiday break. We are here working, finishing things up. So if you need us, you can definitely contact us, but we will be shutting down the office that afternoon and all the way through and back on the morning of January 4th. Obviously, we will be checking emails, but things do take a little bit longer over that time. So if you have something that's going on, please let us know. But just understand it might take a day or two before people are even able to get to their emails. So know that we're closed at that particular time. Again, I'd just like to thank you for if you've been a regular watcher or whether this is your first time. I appreciate you logging in and hearing some of the info that we present. I really have enjoyed this time where I get to hear from you, and hopefully you get to hear back from me. And so I'm going to be continuing it next semester, and this might be something that I even continue after remote learning because I think it's been pretty helpful. We are looking to bring in some other faces and voices for you next semester too, and so we're going to try some new things just to spice it up a little bit. So for what I'd like to just wish everybody is a happy holiday, a safe holiday, that you know, everyone gets a chance to get off their screens and relax, and then come back ready to go on January 4th. So thank you for everything. We will talk to you later. Take care.